Hi everyone. I decided to share the sock snowman with you, my version of it anyways. So start with a couple of plain white tube socks, adult size, and just cut them in half. You're only going to need the toe side. You can set aside the other ankle part for something else. Somebody suggested sliding it into a glass to fill it. So I've decided actually to try and use Epsom salts this time instead of rice. So I'm going to make two sock snowmen, one with rice and one with Epsom salts. The one thing about Epsom salts that I notice is that it is chunky sometimes, and I think if it becomes moist inside it tends to chunk. But the chunks actually break up pretty easily. So we're just going to fill the sock with the Epsom salts to the degree of what you're looking for, like a nice little plump snowman. You can see there is a clump there in the bag. Now this is just plain Epsom salt. You could probably buy scented Epsom salts. After I bought this bag, I figured maybe I could put some essential oils. So I'm going to do that. This is essential oil. I'm just doing a bunch of random drops. I think that's spice apple. And I think I need a little bit more Epsom salts in there. So I'm going to be using the little hair elastics again, same as with the gnomes, and I'm just going to tie it off. It's not, it helps us keep it closed while we actually permanently tie it off with some string. So I'm going to cut some excess of the sock off so it's not in my way, and now I'm going to cut a piece of string. The string is in case the elastic breaks, because those elastics can break and we don't want to have the Epsom salt all over the place, so this is just to secure it. So I suggest that you do this string as well and just cut off the excess. So I'm going to take the second sock that I did and I'm going to fill it with rice. I do the sock gnomes with the socks and the rice, and I never seem to have a problem with them. I like them. I actually store my rice in the freezer, so if by any chance there's any traces of larvae in there, I do not get any bugs. So a lot of people have made comments about that. I don't have a problem with it, never do, and I like the way the gnomes feel with the rice. But the Epsom salts works great too. I actually threw in some essential oils in this one as well. And we're going to tie it off just like the other one. So we're going to have two little guys, brothers or brother snowmen, and we're going to tie that one off. So now I'm going to take some striped socks. You can choose any type of sock you want. These are ladies' adults. If you use kids, you're going to get a smaller snowman. So I'm just cutting them in half, and I eventually cut the heel off because I'm going to use the top and the bottom, and I'm also going to cut off the cuff. So the toe part is for the hat, and the other part is for the body. And I just slip it over top of the snowman, so he's like wearing a little sweater. And I like to adjust it so it's a little bit wrinkled. Just kind of adjust it to how I see it should be fitting. Once I'm happy with that, I will show you the next step. I like the neck to curl up a little bit, you know. I'm not going to put a little smiley face on this guy, so it's going to give him the assumption that his mouth is tucked in underneath the shirt. Now I'm cuffing the toe part of the sock, and I'm going to use that as the hat. Once I put it on there, I realized I have the seam at the front, so I end up taking it right back off and then just readjusting it. I do tend to put the hat on a little bit on an angle, not perfectly straight. we're going to do the second. Oh, I'm also taking a little elastic and I'm kind of elasticizing the end of his hat. You're going to see later in the video that we're going to cut that little toe part kind of like a spiral or a spider cut. If you've ever cut a hot dog and did spider dogs, that's the kind of idea that you're looking for in the top of the hat. So we're going to do the second snowman. Again, cutting it in half and getting rid of the heel. Now those two little pieces of cuffs we're going to reuse, so don't toss them away. As you see, I'm opening them up so that they look kind of rustic, and I'm going to put one around one snowman's neck, and I'm going to do the other one on the other snowman. I apologize for the speed, but I know a lot of times people don't like to sit and watch long videos, and to be honest, if I did a live video, you would have sat here watching me do this. Probably, I think it took me about an hour to an hour and a half to decide what I was going to do with these snowmen. So, I mean, I'd like to do a live video sometime, and maybe I should pick something a little shorter, or maybe have a plan so that it doesn't go too long. I don't know if anybody's interested in a live video, but I'm thinking about doing one. So those are the two little guys. Now we're going to start working on their eyes and their nose and some of the decorations. I do, however, glue on his sweater a little bit just so that it doesn't move, as well as his hat. I forgot to put the little elastic around his hat on this one. There we go. Now you can make multiples of these and use all kinds of different socks. You can use woolly socks, striped socks. I like something that kind of gives you a little bit of a Christmas feel. I look for some reds and stuff, but you can do colorful socks. These are tiny little plastic half beads that I like to use for eyes. They're not a full circle, they're just kind of like a half circle. And I'm just going to put some hot glue, on his face and just drop in his little black eyes. Now you can use any type of, you can use little tiny buttons, you can use little rhinestones if you want. I've seen people use the those little googly eyes that you can buy. I personally like just the little dots. Try to keep them nice and close together. And now we need to do his carrot nose. So this is just a piece of orange felt. I'm going to cut a little triangle out. Once I have that triangle out, I'm going to put a little bit of glue and I'm going to fold the triangle on one end. Not sure if you can see that. So it kind of almost looks like a little beak. And then I'm going to hot glue the end that I folded, and I attach it to the snowman's face. I hold it there for a few moments, but it'll stay on pretty good. You'll see me pushing him down a bit, occasionally, like kind of giving them a little squish. I kind of like them to be a little pudgy, so I kind of push them down a bit, but I mean, you can have them tall as well. If you cut on your tube sock a little higher, you can actually have a fairly tall snowman, but you have to play in effect what you're going to do with his little sweater and stuff. That is just dollar store blush. I think I got that one at Dollar Tree. And then I just take a, pardon me, just a little makeup brush, and I'm just going to put some little blush marks on their cheeks. Now, if you wanted to put a little mouth on him, you could, I have done it in the past with just a fabric marker, and I've just done little dots in the shape of a smile. I find that's probably the easiest route than putting a whole bunch of little beads or something. The beads will probably be hard to glue on. You might want to sew it. This is just a jewelry cord I found at the Dollar Tree, so I thought maybe it might be kind of neat to use on one of the sock characters that I like to make. So I'm just kind of color matching to see which one I like best against their little sweaters. And once I determine that, then these guys are going to have a little bit of this wrapped around them. So I'm just doing a crisscross motion across his body with the tie ending closer to the top. It doesn't have to be centered under his neck, just a little tie, a little bow, and I end up hot gluing it a little bit so it doesn't move around or come loose. I also put a little bit of that around the top of his hat and give it a little tie. You can use anything. I've got a little ribbon that I was kind of trying out. It didn't quite match the sock. Sometimes something just very simple and plain works best. And these are little snowflakes, little embellishments that I had picked up, I believe at Michael's. They're really cute. I think I got them in the scrapbooking aisle, but they always add a little accent to it. So here you see me doing another little spider dog of the top of his hat, just to spread out that so it looks like a little pom-pom. And I'm going to do the second snowman now. These are great little snowmen. I'm getting ready for a Christmas craft sale, and I thought I would make a bunch of these little snowmen for it. Something fun to do with kids as well. A great little activity and craft for your family. It's kind of fun. If you haven't tried it, you should try it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for stopping by.